the one, the only, Howard A. Echo-Hawk III, Esquire.
Oh, well. I think it's important. So I'm a Native American person. We're still alive. Fuck you. And I think it's important to start with the land acknowledgement. It's good to be here on the land of the Coast Salish people, right, folks? Yeah, they used to enjoy it too. They used to like it a lot, and now you're here. And I'm here to talk to you about a very special thing. I have been tasked to talk about landback. Anybody know what landback is? One person knows what landback is? Anybody who doesn't know what landback is want to take a guess? It's 2 words. And I'm Native American, and I'm talking to you about it. So imagine, if you will, what landback might mean within that context. Some people don't get it. Some people are confused by it. Some people think that like it's a metaphor or something. A very special metaphor where the white people go back to Europe. It's a very special metaphor. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I think about it all the time, let's be honest. Because I like Seattle a lot, except for all of the white people who are ruining my life every single day. And it's not that you have, ruined my life recently, it's that you did a long time ago. And, I think the biggest problem for me is the lines. There's so many white people in every line that I go to. I'll just tell you, it's like fucking crazy. Everywhere is a gigantic line of white people, and just one time I'd like to show up and not have one white person in the whole line, Just once. I think that'd be nice. So yeah, I actually have been tasked to talk about landback by the Seattle Neighborhood Department. Right, the Seattle Neighborhood Department asked me, a Native American person, comedian, punishment comedy, themself, to talk about landback, which is a little bit like if in 100 years the Israel state asked somebody who was of Palestinian descent to talk about landback. It's a little bit like that. It's like, wow, what if we just cycled through to the future where, as Dan once told me, soon enough they'll be doing land acknowledgements for the Palestinian people. And it's a little bit like that. It's interesting. I thought, maybe I'll put a lot of work into it. Maybe I'll, make a skit and, do this whole elaborate thing. And then I thought, what if I just got a guest spot on a place where I didn't have to pay for any of it and they just give me money afterwards, just whether or not it's good, Whether or not I practice this, whether or not I put a lot of thought into it, I will be getting paid. Right now I'm getting paid, currently. I mean, maybe that's what landback means, Maybe landback means you give money to Native people. No, that's not what it means. There's not enough money, okay? Land is money, all right? White people are fascinating. That's what I figured out over my 33 years of being a Native person alive. I have figured out that you guys are really interesting. You will do things that are confounding, I would say. Confounding. You will do things like destroy the environment and then become white environmentalists, which I think is really fascinating. I'm not sure what that's about. Kill every single buffalo, become a vegan. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting. I like that. I think that because when white people came here, they called us savages. They said that we weren't using the land. They said that we were just aimlessly wandering about in the woods, and that somebody had to take over it, Doctrine of Discovery, etc., and so on. You all know. You went to class. And I think that's really funny because there's something that this amazing Native thinker, writer, Vine Deloria spoke about in one of his books, which I think is Custer Died for Your Sins is the name of that one. If you'll allow me, he was talking about there's a river outside of Chicago, because he's talking about how white people, they really thought that Native people weren't using the land and that they were putting it to better use. And so he talked about this river outside of Chicago that it's inflammable, it sets on fire, It's a water river. It's made of water, and it sets on fire. And he thought that was just a delight. He thought, wow, you're right. You know what? What native person would have ever thought to pollute a river to the point where it would set on fire? What a magnificent thing you've done, white people. Fantastic, fantastic. I love it so much. You know, it made me even think about because I'm one of those people where my brain is just a web of connections, and when I think about these things, so many things go off. And I started thinking about Landback when I was watching the Barbie movie, right? I'm sure you did too. Because one of my first... Come on, Greta. One of the first things I thought about when you go there is that their ocean was completely filled to the brim with plastic. It's America in 100 years. You can't even swim, you polluted it so much. Barbie Land is the future of America, is all I'm saying. Because they even had their own they had their, what is that fucking, Mount Rushmore of Barbies? Right? Which, I don't know if you know this, but the Mount Rushmore is actually on the stolen land of everything's on the stolen land of they're on the stolen land of the Sioux people, the Lakota people, and I started to think about Barbie Land, and I was like, shit, I think that the Barbies were colonizers. You know, they're giving the Kens a lot of shit, but they didn't have any power. And meanwhile, you go to this very homogeneous place where there's clearly a second class of citizens, the Kens, and also the weird Barbie who's out living alone on their Barbie Dreamland Reservation dream house with a weird makeup. Oh no, they sit weird, cross-legged. Oh no, interesting. Perhaps the Barbies were colonizers. And I'm just going to say Barbie Landback. You know what I'm saying? Barbie Landback. Yeah, white people are a delight. If it wasn't for all of the murder, you guys would be great. Because where would reality television be without white people? You know, tell me that. Because that's what you guys are for. That's I don't know. See, Greg gets it. I don't know if you know, but most brown and black people would never do a TV show like Naked and Afraid. Do you know the TV show Naked and Afraid? It's my favorite show. If you don't know it, it's two white people in a natural environment failing. Just dying for your entertainment slowly. It's beautiful. And it is just an absolutely splendid thing to watch. And I will say to white women, I had no idea what you guys were dealing with white men until I watched Naked and Afraid. Which is, why is it that every white dude who considers themselves an outdoorsman and has tribal tattoos and clearly takes a lot of steroids think that on the third day of being in the woods they can just drink out of a puddle? What's that about? Dysentery. Every single time it is dysentery. Which I thought was a made up thing from the Oregon Trail video game. No, apparently it's real and you can get it if you're an idiot. I'm from the woods in Alaska, no dysentery, not even once, because I'm not a dumbass. And so, it's funny too because the Oregon Trail video game is another one of those strange moments in white history where, have you played the video game, Oregon Trail video game? Everybody know that game? Yeah? If you don't know, it's white people, they start in, I assume, Europe, and then they end up in Oregon. And it's a really hard game. There's only one person I know who beats it consistently, Jim Stewart Allen. Shout out to that guy, the pinnacle, Broccoli Man. The pinnacle of white excellence is what I like to call him. And I'll say it, I'm not afraid. And he, not many people beat that game, right? It's a game that's really difficult. And you, if you're traveling, you and your 4 companions get bit by rattlesnakes, you break a wagon wheel, you trade with some Native Americans and give them smallpox. It's in the game, just part of the game, it's just history. And you rarely make it to Oregon, and I, as a person who's been to Oregon and seen a whole lot of white people, mostly, if not all, and I was wondering how then did you guys get to Oregon, and I think I figured it out. I was going on a hike in LA, of all places you can go on a hike. It's not really a hike to me, it's mostly kind of like these stairs. Because I'm from the woods in Alaska and I'm dope and I can do whatever I want. And I was going off trail on this hike and I was pretty much wearing exactly what I'm wearing now. I'm just cruising, listening to my headphones and just having a good time. And I was coming around the corner and I heard what I think most of us would be able to identify at the drop of the hat. Around the corner I heard the sounds of a complaining white man. And I could tell that he was in distress, and I turned the corner and I looked, and there's an older white man who was face down, flat on this like incline. You had the little ski pole things, you know, so he didn't belong there. He had those little ski pole things. He's face down on the ground, just sucking in dirt, and you know, I'm looking at him, and I, being a respectable person, was gonna leave him there to die in peace, give him his dignity, you know, just drop a little bit of sage or tobacco and bless his journey, and maybe take a little bite, maybe a little nibble, you know, one bite. What? Natives are a little bit, we can be a little cannibals sometimes, you know, just one little bite. He was already dying. And so I see this older white man, he's on the ground, and again, he looked probably like 70, I would say, and I know that white people age faster than everybody else, so he's like probably like 23, 24-year-old white man, and I go by him, and he reached out his hand, and he said, "Hey, can you please help me? Can you please help me?" And I reached out my hand and I helped him, and in that moment I realized that's how you motherfuckers got to Oregon. I had committed the #1 sin of all Native people. I found a lost white man in the woods, and I helped him. I have smallpox now, and he lives in my house, he stole my kids, and I'm paying him taxes for all of it. Land back, land back, land back. People are afraid of it. People are afraid of land back, and I don't really get it. You know, like I think that white people are afraid of land back, truly. Because everybody's using the hashtag, people that support it, people say land back, but I've yet to see anybody give back their house. I still have to pay rent. So it feels like they're afraid of it, and I would like to dissuade white people from the fear of land back. Because I think that white people are worried that that's likely going to be the apocalypse for white people. But I'm here to tell you right now that this is the apocalypse for everybody. You've already done it. You know, don't worry about it. You are already currently zombies. You just don't know it. It's fine. You'll figure it out. So it's not that big a deal. You don't even like most white people, let's be honest. Even the white people don't even like most white people. You don't want to be around them. And I think that, like, when I think about, like, where land back will go one day, because again, it is like somewhat of a discussion. People are like, what does it mean? And I do think it's very simple, and it's not anything to be too afraid of, because Native people are very generous. We're very kind. That's why you're alive. You know, we have the historical precedents. So, and I think that, like, it's gonna be okay, because, like, one day when we are getting our land back after you know, several generations of curb stomping, we'll show up your door one day, and we'll knock, and you'll open the door, and I'll be there. And I'll say, hello, my name's Howie Echo-Hawk. We're still alive, fuck you. And I'll say to you guys, you must know now that it is time for you to go home. We are doing land back, and so we will get you a business class ticket to Europe. You'll fit right in. You know, just anywhere, wherever you want to go in Europe, we'll get you there, where it's no problem. And then I imagine right now I can sense that some of you are like, well, what if I don't want to leave? That's okay. We actually have opportunities for this. All that you have to do is answer serious questions, okay? Like, when's the last time you watched the sunrise? Not looking great. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. If you haven't seen a sunrise soon, when's the last time you just went to the waterfall by the mountain and just sat for an hour? You know, when's the last time you did that? No? Nothing. It's okay. It's okay. We have more options for you. We have more options. Do you have a person of color who is not related to you or married to you or dating you who will vouch for you, giving you something kind of like a green card, perhaps a white card? And they will vouch for you. They cannot be related to you or dating to you or having people, and they will vouch for you that you could be here. Just one. That's all you need is one. And they're responsible for you, okay? Okay, well, maybe not that either. So then it's fine. There's another thing, white people. We'll give you a handful of shrooms. Just a handful of shrooms, and we'll sit there and we're just gonna ask you a bunch of fucking questions, okay? and if you come through that, it's gonna be okay. If you're still afraid of that, do not worry. If you absolutely are like, I was born here, my ancestors didn't do this, I need to stay, that's fine. We have some very select locations in Oklahoma where you can go and just stay, and it's, I don't want to call it a reservation because that implies that you're gonna want to go there, but you will be fine there. I think you'll be fine. I'm getting paid for this currently. It's not landback, but it is nice. I think before I get out of here, because I've run out of time, is that I'll just say, listen, just go back to Europe.